Hello, friends. Welcome to Easy English with Vlad. Today we will travel back in time to the 16th century and follow Ferdinand Magellan, the brave explorer who sailed around the world for the first time. We will discover his amazing journey across oceans, through storms, and into unknown lands. You will also learn English while enjoying a true adventure story with beautiful ships, maps, and islands. Get ready to join the crew, feel the waves, and see the world as Magellan did. Make sure to watch until the end to learn all the lessons from this incredible voyage. In 1519, Ferdinand Magellan, a Portuguese navigator, arrived at the court of King Charles I of Spain. He had spent years studying maps, reading sailors' reports, and imagining a route westward to reach the Spice Islands. Europe craved spices like cloves, nutmeg, and cinnamon, which were rare and expensive. Magellan knew the journey would be dangerous. Many believed the world was small, but he knew oceans were vast and mysterious. He imagined sailing past unknown lands, meeting strange peoples, and surviving storms that could destroy entire ships. At the Spanish court, he unfolded detailed maps and charts, showing a route no European had dared attempt. "Your Majesty," Magellan said, pointing to a map of the world, "if we sail west, we will reach lands rich in spices. The journey is long, but Spain will gain wealth and glory." The young king was intrigued. Funding the expedition would give Spain an advantage over Portugal, its rival in trade and exploration. After long discussions, Magellan secured the king's approval and resources for the fleet. Winning the king's support was only the first step. Magellan needed sailors, sturdy ships, and supplies for years at sea. Rumors of mutiny and disaster haunted him, but he remained determined. Every night he studied the stars, imagining the route and distant islands with golden sands and bustling markets. As word of the voyage spread, Magellan gained supporters and critics. Some called him brave and visionary, others called him a fool, but he was resolute. He would sail west, cross uncharted oceans, and complete the journey no one else dared attempt. Magellan prepared 5 ships: Trinidad, San Antonio, Concepcion, Victoria, and Santiago. Hulls were repaired, sails mended, ropes checked. Barrels of water, dried meat, cheese, and wine were loaded. Weapons like crossbows, cannons, and swords were stored, along with medical supplies for injuries and scurvy. Recruiting sailors was difficult. Many feared storms, pirates, hunger, and disease. Sailors came from Portugal, Spain, and other countries, bringing different languages and cultures. Some were loyal, others skeptical. Magellan worked tirelessly to train his crew, teaching navigation, map reading, and teamwork. Tensions often arose. Sailors argued over routes, complained about rations, and questioned leadership. Magellan reminded them that survival depended on discipline. Shipwrights hammered, ropes coiled, sails hoisted, and the smell of tar filled the air. Citizens watched, both curious and fearful, as the fleet prepared to depart. Finally, the ships were ready. Magellan's dream was no longer just a map. It was a fleet, a crew, and a journey that would change history. On September 20th, 1519, the fleet left Seville, sailing down the Guadalquivir River. Citizens waved goodbye, cheering and crying. Magellan felt excitement and fear. The ships entered the Atlantic Ocean, facing storms, hunger, and fatigue. Sailors marveled at the endless horizon and feared what lay beyond. Days were filled with work, checking sails, navigating, and maintaining the hull. Magellan encouraged his men, often standing on the deck, pointing to the stars. "Keep your courage," he said. We sail for knowledge and glory. The journey was slow. Storms destroyed supplies, waves damaged ships, and sickness spread among the crew. Sailors wrote letters to loved ones, dreaming of returning home. Mutiny was whispered in the dark, but Magellan's authority and vision kept the fleet together. As they sailed farther from Spain, sailors began to understand the ocean's vastness. Magellan studied currents, winds, and stars, plotting the safest and fastest course. Each day brought new challenges, but also the thrill of discovery. Crossing the Atlantic was dangerous. Storms tossed the ships, waves destroyed supplies, and sailors feared for their lives. Some wanted to return to Spain, whispering of mutiny. Magellan responded with strict discipline, punishing rebels but also inspiring loyalty. Daily life was grueling. Sailors woke before sunrise, worked on deck, repaired sails, and fetched water. Food was scarce and many suffered from scurvy. Magellan reminded them, "We endure hardship to reach the unknown. Courage and teamwork will guide us." Storms at night were terrifying. Waves crashed over decks. Lightning illuminated the dark sea, and sailors clung to ropes. Magellan's calm presence gave hope. "Hold the ropes! Trust your ship! Trust me!" he shouted. Slowly, the crew learned to survive together. Finally, the storms passed. Sailors cheered as calm seas returned. They had survived the Atlantic, but the journey had only begun. Magellan's leadership and courage became legend among the crew. Sailing along South America, Magellan searched for a passage to the Pacific. They explored bays, rivers, and islands, mapping every detail. Sailors battled hunger, cold, and confusion. After months, they found a narrow, winding strait at the southern tip, later called the Strait of Magellan. Navigation was difficult. Rocky cliffs, strong currents, and freezing winds tested the fleet. Small boats scouted ahead, and sailors worked tirelessly to guide ships safely. When the last ship entered the Pacific, relief and joy spread across the fleet. The Pacific appeared calm at first, but sailors knew its vastness was dangerous. They had survived storms, hunger, and rebellion. Yet new challenges awaited. The journey had transformed them, building courage and unity. The Pacific Ocean was enormous, stretching as far as the eye could see. Sailors quickly realized the scale of what they had undertaken. Days turned into weeks, and weeks into months. Food supplies dwindled, and fresh water ran low. Scurvy spread among the crew, leaving some weak and bedridden. Magellan organized fishing parties to supplement their diet and kept spirits high with speeches about bravery and the glory that awaited them. Life at sea was repetitive but exhausting. Sailors stood watch, repaired sails, cleaned decks, and navigated using stars. The sun rose and set over endless blue waves. Occasionally they spotted distant islands, but most were barren and uninhabited. Conversations between sailors often drifted to thoughts of home and family. One night Magellan gathered his officers. "We have crossed the unknown," he said. "The Pacific will test our strength, but we must endure. The reward is knowledge, honor, and history itself." The journey tested not only physical endurance, but also mental fortitude. Sailors wrote journals, recorded observations of stars, birds, and ocean currents. They learned to work together as a community, sharing tasks and comforting those who fell ill. Finally, after 3 grueling months, the fleet sighted land, the Philippines. Joy and relief swept through the sailors, but they knew new challenges lay ahead. In the Philippines, Magellan sought to build alliances with local leaders and spread Christianity. He landed on several islands, meeting rulers and observing local customs. The crew admired the beauty of tropical forests, colorful birds, and the friendly greetings of islanders. However, tensions arose when Magellan attempted to intervene in local disputes. On Mactan Island, he clashed with the warrior chief Lapu-Lapu. Magellan led a small group of soldiers into battle, but the warriors were numerous and well prepared. Despite fighting bravely, Magellan was struck and killed. His men fought fiercely but eventually retreated. The death of Magellan shocked the fleet. Morale dropped and uncertainty loomed. Yet the vision of completing the voyage kept them going. Leadership passed to Juan Sebastian Elcano, who reassured the crew and planned the continuation of the journey. Magellan's courage became legendary. Stories of his determination and leadership spread through Europe, inspiring future generations of explorers. After Magellan's death, Elcano took command. Only two ships remained seaworthy, Victoria and Trinidad. They sailed across the Indian Ocean, battling storms, scurvy, and dwindling supplies. At the Cape of Good Hope, they rounded Africa and finally returned to Spain in 1522. Of the original 270 men, only 18 returned. They were welcomed as heroes, their stories of courage and endurance celebrated. Elcano's leadership ensured the survival of the expedition and secured Spain's claim to the Spice Islands. The journey changed navigation forever. Sailors recorded ocean currents, wind patterns, and new stars, paving the way for future explorers. Magellan's voyage proved the Earth was round and that oceans connect continents. It revolutionized maps and global trade. Knowledge gained about winds, currents, and distant lands shaped the age of exploration. Historians praise the expedition for courage, leadership, and scientific achievement. Magellan's dream of discovery inspired explorers for centuries. Spain gained a foothold in Asia, and Europe's understanding of the world expanded. The crew returned with spices, tales of distant lands, and a legacy that changed history. Magellan's vision showed that even the impossible could be achieved with courage and determination. Magellan taught lessons in courage, leadership, and curiosity. Even in danger, he pursued his dream. His journey shows that teamwork, discipline, and determination can overcome fear. For students and learners today, the voyage is a story of inspiration. Magellan faced storms, rebellion, and death. Yet his vision endured. His expedition expanded knowledge, connected continents, and changed the way humans understood the world. The first circumnavigation of the globe reminds us that curiosity drives progress, courage conquers fear, and persistence can achieve the extraordinary. Magellan's story is more than history. It is a timeless lesson for all explorers of knowledge. Thank you for joining us on Magellan's incredible journey around the world. We saw storms, battles, distant islands, and brave sailors who made history. Remember, curiosity, courage, and teamwork can help us explore new things, just like Magellan and his crew. If you enjoyed this story and want more adventures in English, don't forget to like, subscribe, and click the bell to get notifications for our next videos. See you next time.